Well, hello and welcome to CDO Magazine interview series. My name is Clyde Gillard. I am the AI go-to-market leader for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise in North America. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Elena Alikhachkina. First of all, Elena is the Chief Data Officer for AI at TE Connectivity. Your sources of data, it's a good way to look at it. You know, SAP and Workforce and Microsoft, you've got these sources of data, so mine it. The third thing I heard was you really need to have a plan. It's the old expression, if you don't know where you're going, all roads will get you there. So, you've really put all that together. My next question then has to do with going from a pilot to production. Many companies fail in this process. It's easy to have one or two people develop an AI model, but getting it into the wild seems to be a real failure point. 80% or so don't make it. Why do so many AI projects fail to get into production in your mind? And what tricks and tips have you found that helps get through that process?
Everybody have to define what production means. And this could mean different for different companies. When I talk about production, I'm really talking about the full cycle of personalization, an ability to have the escalation path, ability to address the issues, ability to scale. What I'm observing is that people are trying to build kind of like isolated solution, right? And this is the same actually what we have been dealing with analytics. So like for analytics, so let me build the pricing model. I'm going to take the best data. Here is my single source, and here is the pricing model. But the pricing model is actually connected to so many other stuff. What are your products? What are your customers? Like, what is the market trends? Like, and everything, right? I don't want to call this the fail, but the learnings are happening when people realize that they looked like so narrow. They looked so narrow. I think the key secret sauce is, which I have been talking quite a lot, productionalizing data. Mm-hmm. Usually data products come around your key entities, why your business exists, right? So your customer entity, your product entity, master entity, factory, right? So these are like your supplier. These are your big entities. So build your data architecture around the products. So then they are becoming like a building blocks. Basically, you kind of a leg and you can adjust. But because this is like rarely happening, this is where people get hard learnings that I cannot scale. Like adding additional customer dimension is going to be almost like rebuilding the entire system, right? But if your system is built by blocks, it's always easy to take the block and replace it and build it more scalable, right? Some people don't like about this topic, but for me, data AI come together. There is no separation.
A lot of work there. One of the things that sometimes happens, when I give presentations on AI, I do tell people AI will lie to you with the utmost certainty, right? Because it just doesn't know. And so when you approach these, especially when you're talking about products in your core business, has been your emphasis when you talk about data and how to prioritize. How do you also ensure that your AI is being responsible, that it's working under the right regulations? How do you make sure that the output that's being used either internally or externally is okay, right? How do you support and enable that throughout your organization?
Of course, we do have like AI policy. So the policy is our kind of summarizing everything, including the responsible use of AI. It's also this policy supported what we call the literacy program. The literacy program is actually helping people to engage and understand. I did hear a really terrifying story when I was this time at Boston CDAIO. So some CDOs was saying that the board members have been using tools to record board meetings, which they're not supposed to do. You can see that the literacy gap is going actually across all levels of organizations. In the literacy also, I'll give example, which also have been discussed in Boston, is Copilot. It's a fantastic tool. It's absolutely fantastic. I heard so many people are saying, oh, this is the best tool. It's helping me in daily life and helping everything, right? But some CDOs in Boston shared that companies are started closing Copilot. And I was like, why? So because if you open Copilot, let's say to SharePoint, so how much data is classified on SharePoint?
Yeah.
So companies are started discovering the private documents on SharePoint, started discovering this, like salaries of employees or some IP documents. All of this years of history is not categorized. The gap is not technological. The gap is the personal gap. I refer to myself, my phone is not well organized. Why I should be organizing my SharePoint. And this behavioral actually exists everywhere. We're not talking about the technology, we're actually talking about the behavioral change with AI.
Yeah, it's just to support that at HPE, we have HPE Chat, which is a safe version for us to use internally. We are not allowed to have robots dial into meetings because, as you said, I mean, especially shareholder meetings, or board meetings, you don't want those recorded. And lastly, we're not allowed to expose SharePoint or any of those documents externally because it becomes a part of the greater database. And eventually you might see some of your own proprietary information as part of a search. So with all those kind of horror stories, I guess, to be cognizant of, can you share an AI success story that you've had, that you've implemented that has shown results in one way or another? I'd be curious to see or hear about what's worked for you with AI.
Yeah, definitely different stories. Talking about personalization and next best action. For example, in healthcare, so this is a lot about the customer engagement, healthcare professional engagement. We have been practicing this next best action, not the GenAI, but traditional machine learning. The models are performing quite well. I would say personalization space is really well developed. You can see financial services is now going a lot into the customer personalization. Another area which I would love to share is definitely the content creation. Again, from my healthcare experience and now marketing and connectivity is also looking into this, is how we can create the better content, how we can align the better content to the brand messaging, to the customer messaging. This is where AI, like a GenAI, actually can play a big role. Some pilot we are finishing is actually we're taking a market research data, which really well categorized, really well. This is actually the key for the success of AI agent. We have an agent on top to get insights and start sharing these insights across the organization. So these are big success small successes, but really, really nice to have. In the areas of the R&D, this is developing. So this is something which going to take a lot of years for all companies to develop, right? Because they potentially can change models for many businesses. And one more, I'll share actually how I use AI in data management. Started my back journey in Johnson & Johnson, and then I used this approach 3 times. Imagine that you have really messy data about your product and about your customers. And what is the traditional way? Go and buy expensive master data management system. It's going to take you years to implement and $1 million and honestly never successful. So many times I saw master data implementations, it never ends, right? So there are companies who are shaping this space. One of the company I have been partnering for 3 times, actually based in Boston. And it was so hard to bring the new approach. For me, it was actually, in Johnson & Johnson, I was coming in offering to use this company 7 times. And enterprise architecture rejected me, saying, nope, we have enterprise technology. We don't even look at. When they start seeing the results, this technology got, scaled across. I think using AI to improve the data, to improve how the agents can actually work and how quickly they be. So this is the area which I personally invest in my time, even helping the companies who are developing in this space.
Thank you so much. And also for more interviews like this, if you like this kind of discussion, please go visit cdomagazine.tech. You'll see this and other conversations as well. So Elena, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in Boston. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Clyde. Yes, I will definitely come to Boston, maybe in September.
I look forward to it. Thank
Thank
you.